the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. And I know a lot of people have been talking the breaking news. Mike McGlinchey gets his fifth-year option. We're aware. But we wanted to really think about it and break it down. Horse, we wanted to talk about what we feel about Mike McGlinchey getting awarded that fifth-year option by the San Francisco 49ers.
I know all you guys like to hate on Mike McGlinchey and talk bad on him, but $10 million for a player of Mike McGlinchey's caliber at tackle is a good deal. Mike McGlinchey is still one of the top, even if he plays like he played last year, he is still a top 10 run blocking tackle in the league. That right there is worth the $10 million. I have faith that he's going to come back to the player he was in 2018, 2019, and be a solid pass blocker. He's never going to be spectacular, but he's solid. And that combined with his run blocking skills is well worth that money. It is not easy to go find starting caliber tackles in the NFL. Even if you draft one or whatever, you don't know that that player is going to work out. So I think this is a great deal. I'm a fan of Mike McGlinchey. I think he's a good player. But I think this is a solid deal.
Yeah, you know, another reason why it really makes sense, Horst, is the fact that it was supposed to be about a little over $14 million, but because of all the COVID and the salary cap coming down, it fell to $10.8 million, which is something I think the 49ers could definitely live with, and that's why they were, able to make this deal and keep Mike McGlinchey. I don't think anyone would argue if we get Mike McGlinchey the 2019 version. I think if we get the 2019 version of Mike McGlinchey, everyone's happy because he's out there and he's wrecking people out on the outside. He's getting to the second level and he's making plays. And we saw that a lot still this year in the run game. It's the pass game where everyone has the questions. And really, it hurt him not having a solid center that can make the line calls and make the line adjustments. As soon as Ben Garland was out, you didn't have that, anymore. You didn't have the good line calls and the good production from him because of it. And the quarterbacks weren't able to get him in the right situations to be successful. He's not good at kick sliding and traditional, pass sets. They really need a good play-action game to be able to, make him his best player. And I think if they get this run game going, which I think they can with the, reemergence of the center position with Alex Mack, and also just adding to this offensive line in depth, maybe even Aaron Banks starting at right guard, this guy is going to improve in a big way. And he's going to have a great breakout season, and we're going to be talking about how great it is, and you're going to start talking contract extension for Mike McGlinchey, because McGlinchey has all the ability to be a big-time player in this league. He just hasn't been successful last year. He fooled around a little bit with the diet. Didn't work out for him. Now he's back in the gym putting on weight. He looks good. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And if he comes out and he has a great year, then it was good that the 49ers bet on him with this fifth-year option.
I agree. And the reason why this ends up being an even better decision for the 49ers and the best possible option decision, you obviously didn't get the guy you were targeting in the draft. So now you shore up this lineman. And like you just said, it would have been around $14 million, but because of COVID, that cap number comes down, which means you get to save that money that season for 2022. But guess what? At the end of the day, that salary cap is going back up. So now that extra $4 million that you lost out on that actually drops off of his salary this year is going to kick in for the 49ers. That's more money to sign future players as well. And that's money that gets shared around a little bit down the line. And if Mike McGlinchey plays up to par, it's money that's going to go right back into Mike McGlinchey's pocket. So at the end of the day, it's a nice discount for the 49ers. A little one due to COVID, and big time because I do agree with you. I tend to agree that I think Mike McGlinchey most likely is going to be in a position coming up this year where he's going to have all the opportunity to correct and right the wrongs of last season. Like you said, diet, strength, he's addressed both those things. And as Horst pointed out, he is easily one of the best 2, maybe 3 run blockers in the league.
Right.
It's not even close, especially when it comes to second-level run blocking and getting up there and causing havoc.
Yeah, I was nice and said top 10.
Yeah, you were really nice when you said top 10. As a talent, he's probably a top 10 right tackle. If you combine the pass pro sets with run blocking, he's probably somewhere near top 10 or close to it. Run blocking, though, he's elite. It's not even close. And so for me, Mike McGlinchey here, $10.8 million. In a system now that we all think is going into a even more heavy run-centric system than maybe it already was and dominated by for the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan. The draft picks maybe signal it too, with Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore, both huge offensive linemen that they draft and bring in.
Right.
This system could be a perfect fit for Mike McGlinchey, which would explain why they pulled the trigger on his fifth-year option. And now he has basically the opportunities in front of him to prove that he's worth that money and worth future investment.
Lots of players are a lot better when they're able to play going forward. So when you get this run game going and you're able to play going forward, you're more successful. And that's what they're going to do. This is bully ball. And Mike McGlinchey's a bully. When he's at the top of his game, he's a bully in the run game. He's very physical and able to get, up and make great plays and great blocks. But if they have to drop back, if they're playing from behind and they have to drop back, 30 times a game, he's going to struggle again. That's not his game. He's not going to get kick slide. He's not going to make, great blocks every time. He's going to get beat occasionally. You can almost guarantee once or twice a game he's going to get absolutely worked because that's not his strength. I think they knew that when he came out of Notre Dame, but they've got to be successful in the run game to be able to make it so he can be successful in the pass game. And I think that's the same with other guys on the team as well. Laken Tomlinson is not the best pass blocker, but if the run game's going really good, he's very successful in the pass game because they can slide protect, move the pocket, and run play action that can, help these guys, take the stress off of them, let them move laterally and still make blocks. It just takes so much pressure off. When you're dropping back continuously and you're kick sliding and you're on an island against some of the best defensive players in the league, it's not easy. And the fact that you have Trent Williams on the other side, they're always going to kick their best guy to the other side and go against McGlinchey because he's the weaker option. He's going to see, tougher players every single week, and he has to step up and, reach the goals and reach the challenges that are there. He has to meet them, but I still think that if they get this run game going, Mike McGlinchey will return to form and will actually have his best season so far.
Yeah, what's funny to me is a guy that I think is a really comparable player to Mike McGlinchey just got traded for multiple first-round picks. Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown is not a great pass blocker. There's a reason he plays right tackle most of the time. But in that Ravens offense, because they dominate the run game, he's able to be great because he doesn't have to just set back and pass block 30 times a game like he's talking about.
Right.
I think people might be a little surprised when they see him on the Chiefs.
Could be.
Very well could be. Listen, at the end of the day, too, the thing that you cannot forget, the run game helps establish the pass game, but the run game and the success of the run game also can make Mike McGlinchey's job 10 times easier, because if you're not having to drop back 30 times a game, guys can't just put their foot down on the ground, hand in the ground, and go downhill full speed the entire time, because now you have gap responsibilities. You got to be worried about, if I get too far upfield here, they're just going to kick me out and run underneath me anyway. And the Niners run a zone scheme. So if you're going to just send guys downhill from the outside, we're just going to move you out, get to that next level, secure second level, find the gap. And you've seen what happened when Jeff Wilson Jr. and when Raheem Mostert find the hole and can put their foot in the ground and get upfield. It is problems for defenses. So that by itself will help the 49ers alone and will help Mike McGlinchey. Let's just hope it all works out.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo will help as well. Getting the 49ers into the right play when you're coming out, making sure that they're, they can the play when they need to, and that they run the plays when, that they're supposed to run. Being able to see it the right way, that will make sure that, he doesn't get overwhelmed. There was times we seen extra edge rushers coming off that side with McGlinchey, and the play wasn't changed. And it put him out there, and it makes him look bad if people don't understand what's going on. But Jimmy will definitely help with that. And then eventually Trey Lance, he's a very smart guy. He'll be able to do that as well. And then the 49ers will have a lot of success. So I wouldn't be surprised to see McGlinchey eventually get that extension and be around San Francisco for a long time.
Agreed there indeed. Don't forget to hit that like button right now as well. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and that notification bell. That way you get notified every time we post a video, which is 11 a.m. daily. Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. as well. And this Wednesday specifically, Horst, we got a freaking live stream, my guy. I know. It's a little off schedule. It's a little off kilter, but we got a schedule release we got to talk about. You're going to want to be here for that as well, so do all of that.
What time is that?
It's going to be at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, my guy. Listen.
Specifically
at 5 p.m. At the end of the day, too, we want to hear from you, so let us know down there in that comment section right now as well. What do you think about this extension, this 5th-year pickup option on Mike McGlinchey's contract? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you convinced that he's going to have a breakout year, or are you just uncertain? We want to hear from you. Let us know about it down below.
Yeah, make sure you join us on Wednesday. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be able to see what the 49ers schedule is going to look like. It's finally going to be official. It's finally going to shake out a certain way, and we're going to know when the key matchups are and when we got to play the Seahawks and the Rams and all that good stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I left Arizona out because we beat them at their own house last year. So they got left out of this, but I think it's going to be fun. It's always a blast to see also the primetime game, so you can plan Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday nights around NFL. Exciting.
Been my life for a long time.
And it's going to continue to stay your life. And all of you, make sure you can hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. And until next time, 49ers fans, you stay safe.
And remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.
Boom. All right.
Man, would I like to get me some of that?
All right, we're going to hot dog. Hot dog.
And that just got awkward.
That's going at the end of the episode. All right, we're going to trace the Trace Amigo screen in 3, 2.